Now, so you're in a position right now that you don't believe whether your father is your real father.
But that doesn't matter.
Okay.
That doesn't really. That
It doesn't matter.
No,
Doesn't matter. So if your mother has sex behind your father's back, you've got a problem.
It depends if it was consensual or not. If it was consensual, it's fine.
Really? These people you take your information from who are academics, do they believe in the supernatural as well?
Yes, and I don't think they necessarily have to. You don't have to. Because
You don't have to.
Because the point about belief is that it's a personal thing.
Oh, is it?
Yes. Well, belief is a personal thing.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
Who told you that?
Well, I think it. I believe it.
Okay, so
I believe that belief is a personal thing.
All right.
Shoot me.
Okay, what does belief mean?
It means to hold an opinion about the way that reality is and how reality is structured. Why not? There we go. That's a very reasonable claim.
Okay. Is that an objective understanding of the word belief or your own made-up one?
Well, it's the one that I believe in.
All right. So there's no objective meaning of the word belief.
Well, given that language is transient throughout time and that belief changes in meaning throughout time, like saying there's an objective meaning of anything is actually very difficult without actually a reference frame of belief, which is provided by things like religion.
So here today in London, England.
Yes.
What's the objective understanding of the term belief?
What I've just said, because it's for me. It's for me to decide.
Can a belief without proof be true?
No, because it's a belief.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't believe a belief without proof could be true?
Yes, I believe because it's still a belief. It's not fact. Fact and belief. You're confusing fact and belief. You're making them the same.
No,
They're not.
I think you are misunderstanding the word belief.
Right, because you're saying that belief is fact.
Do you believe your father's your father?
Well, I have no idea. I just have to take him on trust.
Do you believe it or not?
Well, I just have to take it on trust.
No,
It doesn't matter whether I believe it or not.
Do
I
you
just
believe
take
it or
on
not?
trust. I think it, and I trust my parents. So yes, I suppose I.
But you have no proof.
I suppose I believe it.
But you got no
I
proof.
Well, I haven't done a DNA test.
So you got no proof.
But I could do a DNA
Well,
test.
we haven't though.
But no, not yet. Because
Right,
I trust.
right. So right now you don't know if your father's your father.
Yes. Yeah, fine. Well,
Do you believe
for
he's your father?
certain. I don't know for certain.
But you believe he is?
Yes, but does it matter?
No. Well, so
I don't use my identity.
No, but you just
from my
said. Well, you
father.
just said that
Yeah,
belief
well,
without
okay.
proof can't be true. So you have no proof your father's your father. So you're now saying you believe your mother may have messed about.
Yes, but you're making the assumption.
That's what you're saying now.
Well, that's a very, very great assertion. I have no idea what to do at university, if I'm honest, but we'll have to see.
Right. So right now, so you're in a position right now that you don't
Yes.
believe whether your father is your real father.
But that doesn't matter.
Okay.
That
It
doesn't really. That
doesn't matter.
No,
Doesn't
but
matter.
the thing is that I don't base my entire system of morality and worldview is not.
Your worldview is not based on whether your father's your father.
No, of course not. Like, why would it be? I don't take my. I don't know.
If you found out your father was not your father,
it might. Well, it might do, but it wouldn't change how he still raised me, whether or not he's my biological father or not.
Right.
Well, probably not. But can you guarantee? I think that's a perfectly reasonable
The
thing to
point
say.
here is this. If a belief without proof, you just said a belief without proof can't be true. Where I believe your father is probably your father. Yeah, I don't need you to do a DNA test.
It can't be, but you believing that and it being true, right?
No, but it could be true.
Yeah, but just because it could be true doesn't mean it is true.
Did you say it was?
And that's yes, because the thing is
I
that
didn't
you're
say-
using.
I didn't say that,
you're
did I?
using. Yeah, but you are using it as that. Actually.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
are.
I said I
Because
could.
You're using a situation which basically what you're doing. So you're taking a situation which is factually true, as in like.
It's not factually true.
Well, okay. If I take a DNA test.
You haven't done a DNA test, so it's not factually true.
Right. Well, let me just say. Let me just take a DNA test really quickly.
No, but you haven't
Let
done
me
that.
look at my.
But you haven't
Look
done.
at my. Let me
You
look
haven't
at my-
done.
Here we
But
go.
you haven't.
Okay, I'm taking a DNA
So it's not
test.
factually
That's
true.
my dad.
So it's not factually true.
What you're doing
So it's not
is
factually true.
you're using the
But it's
idea
not factually true,
that
is it?
if I believe something that I already know to be true, right?
But you don't know it to be true.
But I could prove it.
You could.
And my point is, I can't.
You might be disproven.
You can't. But I can't.
You might be
can't
disproven.
apply that. I could. Would I be?
You could be.
I could be.
Right.
And maybe that's something.
So
I have
here's
to
the
be.
reality: is this? But you do believe your father's your father.
I don't think it matters whether I believe it or not.
It doesn't matter if you believe your
No,
father's your father.
it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
Why?
Well, because. Why would it matter?
Why
Like,
would
if
it
he
matter whether
raised-
your father or your
because
father?
if
Well, it would
biological
mean your mum's a
matter-
tart, wouldn't it?
Wow, that's
Well, that's what it would mean, wouldn't it?
Only if you.
Is that not what it means?
Only.
That's not what that means.
Only.
at all.
Only. Well, this is my
If your
brother.
father,
Hang on.
if your father,
Well, that's a very derogatory
no.
term, and also,
If
a
you're-
woman.
Is she not free to do whatever she wants?
Yeah, exactly.
It's her body.
Yeah.
Is he trying to-
all right.
This is a signed ownership. I mean, there's all kinds of problems with this,
okay.
man.
I'll take back
Yeah,
the
I
word
would.
tart.
Oh, do you?
if you don't believe your, sorry, if you don't believe your
My
father's your
God.
father, that means your mother. You believe your mother was a loose woman and slept with
A loose
other random
woman
men.
again! Oh, with the
What's the problem with
sexist,
that,
with the
then? What's the
sexist
problem?
term.
No problem.
Loose women is
So you know-
definitely derogatory.
So if your mother has sex behind your father's back, you've got a problem.
Oh, it depends if it was consensual or not. If it was consensual, it's fine.
Whatever she wants.
If it's consensual, it's fine.
Really?
She's allowed to do whatever she
So
wants.
honestly, that's your position.
What is your position? Is your position that women should be controlled?
I believe men and women in a relationship should be faithful to one another. Yes.
Oh, that's very wholesome. That's very wholesome. I think that's
Fantastic.
very nice. Yeah, it's nice. But I think
that's why. See, because what happens is
multiple.
I'll tell you why.
What do you think about
why?
What do you think about polyamory? Is it because of God?
Shall I explain why? Shall I explain why? Because 70% of people in prison are from broken homes. Yeah. And extramarital affairs is what break up homes.
I mean, I don't.
So you should have a problem with extramarital affairs because they destroy lives.
I think poverty is probably a bigger driver than like the broken homes comes from things like poverty.
No.
And like all kinds of things.
I'll tell you what breaks up homes.
Because like a lot of very wealthy
Shall I tell you what breaks up homes?
Will stay married even though they
I'll tell you 5 things that break up homes.
Let me finish first. And so I think there are a lot of things that break up homes. I think the main one is financial pressure. Go on, give me 5 then. Go on, list
drugs, alcohol, gambling, sexual immorality, and interest.
Sexual immorality. Right, we'll put that to one side.
Why?
I think because the thing is sexual immorality is like using the word immoral requires me to subscribe to your system of morality.
No.
And yes,
society's morality.
Okay.
Because that is your morality.
No, society. No.
Yes.
Everyone has an individual morality.
No, you think you do.
Everyone. No.
You're a product of your environment, my friend.
Well, yes, that's true, and you're a product of your environment. The point is that we both come.
No, but my morality is not from this environment.
So how is your morality not from this environment?
My morality is objective morality.
Your morality is objective morality based on the word.
Obviously, what I believe as a Muslim.
What you believe as a Muslim. So your morality is conditional based on your beliefs, which of course are conditioned based on what society has given you. Because otherwise, you wouldn't be.
No.
So you're saying you were always a Muslim?
Of course not.
Well, there we go then.
What do you mean where we go?
Because the point is that like until you converted as a result of societal forces, then you adjusted your morality, right? And even
societal forces, what's that to do with my morality?
Well, because societal forces obviously like shape your morality.
Why did I become a Muslim?
Why did you become a Muslim?
No, why did I?
I don't know.
You seem to be assuming a lot of things.
I'm not assuming anything, sir. I'm assuming you converted.
No, you're assuming morality has something to do with becoming a Muslim.
No, I'm not assuming that. I'm assuming that you converting had something behind it. The only thing I assumed was your conversion.
No, we were talking about morality.
Yes.
And I agree with you. Before I became a Muslim, my morality was also subjective.
Because now your morality is objective.
Objective, yes.
But the point is, it's only objective in your frame of reference where you believe in.
Obviously.
In your thing.
Well, that's my morality.
The point is,
but yours is subjective.
And mine is subjective, and mine's not necessarily dependent on society. It's necessarily dependent on because you're assuming that because.
Let me ask you a simple question. What do you think about homosexuality?
I think it's fine.
Fine. 50 years ago, your answer would be completely different.
Yeah, I agree.
Why?
Well, because it probably wasn't acceptable then.
What changed?
Society.
Not you.
But also me. Because the thing is, I could have been born 50 years ago, and I also might have thought homosexuality was fine, as a lot of people did back then.
No, the reality is, the way you're talking now, that you think it's fine for your mother to have an affair behind your father's back because she's a free woman, that tells me that tells me you're in a millennial generation, and you think this is cool now. Now, 50 years ago,
wow, that's a lot of assumptions you made right there.
50 years ago,
I look very young.
Homosexuality was illegal.
Well, it depends where you were, but yes, in most places. But it did.
You couldn't have anal sex with your wife 50 years ago.
It
was illegal.
You just couldn't tell people.
But it was illegal.
But things are
illegal that loads of people still.
Like everyone,
but the point is,
everyone does.
But it's not moral.
But that's your morality, and we don't have to care about what your morality is.
I have objective morality.
No, but only objective for you. The point is
no, for me, yes.
Yes.
And yours is subjective.
I don't have to listen to your morality.
Right.
So when we put sexual
so going back to the
immorality
original point. Going back to the original point. Because we've gone on a tangent here. Let's go back to the original point.
Putting sexual immorality.
The original point is this: the principle that I established that a belief can be true without proof, because I don't need you.
It can be. It doesn't mean it is. Excuse me, sir. Do not.
I don't need you. It was an accident. You're going like this. I'm going like this. We might touch in the middle. Yeah. Right. I'll say it to you again.
Yes.
All right. You don't need to prove to me with a DNA test that your father's your father, because I'm pretty sure you can bring the character of your mother to the table. I'm pretty sure you can bring the family testimony to the table. I'm pretty sure you could bring subjectivity, and I look like him, have his mannerisms and such to the table. Now, if I want to listen very carefully. So, for me, your belief in your father being your father could well be true, but you don't believe it could be true.
I don't know. But the point is, hang on, sir. But the point is, sir, just because something can be true, and this is very important.
Yes, I believe.
Just because something.
So why you believe that and we Christian?
Hang on, wait.
Christian, don't do Christianity. He's an atheist.
Well, actually, you're assuming. I'm not actually an atheist.
Are you Christian?
No, I'm actually. What's the one you're not sure?
Agnostic.
Agnostic. Yeah, you know, sit on the fence.
Do you believe in a creator?
No, probably not. Anyway, the point is
Right, but you don't believe in a creator.
just because, hang on, let me finish. Just because something can be true, and this is very important for everyone here that's listening. Just because something can be true does not mean it is.
I agree.
And that is the end
I
of
agree.
that.
I agree.
Thank you very much, Steve. You've been wonderful.
I'm very nice to see you.
Yeah, very nice to meet you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So that geezer, he started off the same old adage: atheist stance, agnostic stance, whatever it may be. They think belief is something abstract when it clearly isn't. It's just accepting something to be true without proof. I.e., you believe your father's your father. Don't need DNA test. You've got subjective reasoning, family testimony, and such. Then he went off on a millennial tangent. Didn't have a problem about his mum messing around behind his father's back. If she wants to do it, it's free. She's a free woman. Anyway, subhanAllah. That's why they need objective morality, not subjective morality. Because when you have objective morality, you don't bow down to man's whims. You follow God's whim. You follow God's guidance. Alhamdulillah. Yeah? So the point here is this. Same old, I've been in the park, I've been away since November, and I come back, and it's the same old. Same old. Atheists thinking they have some intellectual, logical, reasonable, higher ground, and what do they end up doing at the end of all the time? Emotional wrecks. Salam alaikum.